Good morning, world. It is Wednesday, so it's time for my midweek pickup. Today, I want to talk about staying firm in your foundation, staying firm in who you are. The reason why I want to talk about this today is because, of course, we live in a world where there's nothing but social media. So I go through so many people's timelines and I see so many things that people are struggling with. And then I kind of notice that, especially people who I know, when something has either defeated them at one point, they may tend to be a completely different person. And I'm very good at reading people. I can tell when something's wrong. Sometimes even through text message, and I just wanted to give some type of encouragement, some type of encouraging words to let everybody out there know, including myself. We may be in certain battles and we may be fighting with a certain person, and especially if it's something that's going to be for the long run, always remember, and this is something that you always have to know and you always have to tell yourself, you may stumble and lose one battle, but that does not mean that you have lost the whole war. Now, um, I know you've heard that saying before, and that saying is very true, especially if you're in a situation where you have to deal with a person still. And I'm talking about having children with somebody. This is for my brothers and for my sisters out there who may feel that their child's parent has buried them or defeated them or took a piece of them away that they cannot get back. It's always you always hear either the male bashing or the baby mama bashing and everything like that on Facebook and Instagram, and then you have people who, hundreds of people who like it, some people who don't like it, but they still chime in on it and put their 10 cents into everything. One thing that I have to tell you all, and this is about anything, don't go out there putting all your business out there for everybody to read, because it's not everybody's business and you don't really want everybody in your business to begin with, because everybody does not have your best interests at heart. Number two, when you get into a situation where you feel like somebody is fighting dirty, and in any fight, usually 9 times out of 10, there's going to be somebody that's going to be fighting dirty. And the best advice that I can give for a dirty fight is you can fight fire with fire, if you will, but you don't have to seep down to their level. Sometimes you have to fight dirty, but there's a smart way in fighting dirty, and there is a completely wrong way in fighting dirty. And most of the time, we let our tempers and our feelings get the best of us, and then we end up fighting dirty the wrong way. And then some of the things that we say, do, or even record could get used against us later on in life in a situation where you don't need them to be used against you. Now, what you also have to realize is you have to stay firm in who you are and what you have always been doing. If you've been this type of person for 25 plus years of your life, and then you get into a situation where you and your ex or your, significant other, or what, baby daddy, whatever you want to call them, baby mama, whatever you want to call them, and then you start to show them the difference in you, they already know that they got you. They already know that they've won, and they already know anything else that they're going to do. They know what buttons to push to hurt you, so they're going to keep on pushing those buttons, and they're going to keep on hurting you because, number one, you've already let them know that they can, and number two, since they know that they can, they will. And a lot of people are so petty now. No matter what they do, they're only out to hurt the other person. They don't think about what the kids are going through. They're not thinking about, what this is going to shape for the kids' future, because a lot of us don't understand. And we may say, oh, we keeping the kids out of this and blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. But then the kids are smart. So they're watching you and they're watching, the other parent. And they're seeing, this is how my mom and dad acted. So when they have kids, they're going to mimic what they've seen because they're going to mimic it because they did not know any other way of life. That's what they saw. That's what they were accustomed to. So it's not their fault that they're going to act that way, but they are going to mimic what they were raised by and what they were involved in while growing up. You may be somewhat keeping the kids out of it or whatever, but then when you say certain things to your partner or to your homegirl and your kids are around and they hear it, that type of thing is planted into their mind. So now they're thinking, I either got to find somebody that's like pops or like moms or whatever the case may be. But then they may find somebody that's exactly like you, but then they're looking for all the bad faults in that person, versus the good faults. Now they may see, or they may find somebody who could treat them like gold and platinum and do this and that and do things that they've never seen happen, in their life before, and they may be confused and think that something is wrong with that type of behavior because they were not brought up in that type of atmosphere. So when you say you're leaving the kids out of it, you're really not leaving the kids out of it. You're just laying the foundation for them to know, hey, this is probably the person that I want to pick, in the future, or this needs to be the person that I need to stay away from in the future. But we all know that usually 9 times out of 10, maybe 85% of the time, a child is going to, you always hear that, a daughter goes after somebody who is just like their father, or a son ends up going after somebody who reminds them of their mother. And, that happens a lot. So the foundation that you lay is something that has to be, smooth and set. And if you are going to, argue, clown, or discredit this person, you have to make sure that you always, always, always do not do this in front of your children, because then that's going to make them confused. They're going to rebel against the other person, and then you're going to have a whole nother world of problems. But what you have to do, my brothers and sisters out there, is always stick to who you are or become something better than what you were. Never go backwards. Never become something that's lower than what you were, because like I said, people start to notice that. And then even though you may not be talking to the person that you're at war with or whatever, but somebody else may see him or her and be like, yo, man, such and such is doing bad. I see how they acting or whatever, and I wonder what's going on, because that's what people do. People messy. They want to talk about something. And then, that other person in their mind, they're like, oh, man, how such and such is, you know what I'm saying? And then they discredit you a little bit, but in their mind, they're like, bam, I won. I know that I won, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing so I can continue to win. That's not what you need to portray. That's not the type of vibes you need to put out there in the universe for yourself or for anybody else. You should never let anybody know your weakness, and you should never show your weakness to the public like that so it can be used against you. Now, I'm not saying that we all super strong people, we all perfect and everything. We all stumble, we all, cry at times, get frustrated, everything like that. That's going to happen. But what I'm saying is, don't add fuel to the fire. Don't be your own destructor. You know what I'm saying? It's already too many people out there that are trying to pull you down and destroy you. Don't help them do that. So if you have to put on the front sometime to make it seem like, that type of stuff isn't bothering you, and you're kicking, 100,000%, do it, just do it, because in their mind, they're going to think, well, this little crap that I'm pulling on them isn't working. And so they're going to try and, do something else to, discredit you or make you feel less than what you are. But then you're already on top of it. So it gets to the point to where nothing they can do is going to pull you down or tear you down and everything. And then that makes them frustrated. And then you can see the tension start to kind of start thinning and easing out and going away, because they feel like, hey, I can't win with this person. I may have been able to do this and do certain things like this back then, but now, you know what I'm saying, this person has changed, this person is stronger, and they not putting up with the same bullshit that they used to put up with me back in the day now. And then that's when you're going to start seeing that all the little small battles that you may have lost or you felt like you lost is going to seem like, bam, now I'm starting to win the war. And that's what it's all about. A war is a whole bunch of battles that are being fought. And sometimes you're going to lose some of those battles, and some battles you're going to win. But the key is to win more battles than losing them, so you can eventually win the war and put an end to the war, metaphorically speaking, of course. With that being said, everybody just try and stay firm with who you are. Try and stay positive. Try and let nothing negative attack your soul, your mind, your body. Just know that you have your purpose, and seek that purpose out and do what you have to do for your purpose. With that being said, I will see y'all next week. Remember, stay focused, stay positive. We're coming up on the first quarter of the year already. So as you know, time waits for nobody. So do what you do. Don't let anybody discourage you. Keep pushing, keep going. Don't let nothing stop you. Put God first, family second. Everything else will follow. With that being said, I will see y'all next Wednesday. Have a happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Fellas, treat your lady like the queen that she is. Women, treat your men like the king that he is. And let's just start doing what we have to do to make each other better and make this place better for our kids, so their kids can have a better place to live than we did ourselves. Peace out, people.